because there's no honesty there. And that's one of the things in business that I observe a lot of times, is that there's not enough honesty in terms of.
So you've worked with a lot of people, right? As a processor.
Let's define a lot of people.
Over 100.
Yes, over 100, yes.
Over 100 people. Why do some people genuinely want to change, but some just want to stay the same?
That's such a good question. You'd have to ask them. But in my opinion,
Yes, there we go.
The reason why a lot of people, I say, want to change but don't, because anybody that's come to work with me generally has a want to change.
Yes.
Okay. And then they stop working with me because why? Because it gets hard. It's too difficult or too painful to look at some of our past. And so people stop working on it because it's hard.
So what would you say then for you is the first sign that somebody actually is serious about changing?
They show up on time all the time.
Ooh. So would you say that if somebody shows up late, that you probably get that sense? Do you get a sense that
So, for example, I'm working with one particular client, and if the telltale signs that it's going to be a, say, interesting, difficult, challenging session are that her internet crashes, or her laptop starts to do an update, or the internet doesn't work, or there's no power. But typically this client, if they say they're going to be there, they show up every single week. And if they are more than a minute late, that is a telltale sign that something's happening.
Okay.
Now, I have other clients that they will phone me to book a session, and then they'll go, yeah, I'm like, tomorrow I'm quite busy, so I know we booked our session for 8:30, but can you just change it to 10, please?
Really starting.
And I'm like, no, I can't, because we booked 8:30 and I have another client at 10. Sorry, I can't do that. Oh, well, that's a bit inconvenient. And so it's just like, then I know that client is not serious.
Okay.
Like, for example, I have other clients as well that they come in and they show up, but they'll have a drink or two the night before.
Oh, nice.
And that's a regular thing, where I have other clients that are on some form of medication, and like every once in a while they'll forget and take their medication. And they'll message me as soon as they take it, and oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot I took my medication. But it's the stuff that's normal versus out of the normal. So I have some clients that it's normal to drink before a session. Like, and I say normal, it happens quite regularly.
Okay.
And I have other clients where it's like once every 10 sessions, they'll forget. So it's very different in terms of, you can see the client that's serious versus the client that's not.
Would you say that you could then do the same in a business and as a business owner?
Oh, absolutely.
And how would you do? Because I mean, I would imagine if you come to work after a few drinks, that's a telltale sign that you don't want to change.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what would you say then, for example, as a business owner, the telltale signs? Because I believe that people say a lot in business. I want to change. I promise you next week I'll do better at this. Da 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 da. But same thing happens.
So I guess the question is, what is the person willing to do?
Okay. Sheesh. I mean,
so for example, you have an employee that says they want to stop drinking.
Yep.
And they want to get better. Okay. We don't know how if the want is true or not.
Fair enough.
Okay. And it's not our place to judge that.
Yes.
Okay. So for me, it's like, okay, so they say they want to get better. How can I help them get better?
Yep.
Okay. So then it's right. Okay. So ask them what they need to do to get better, or what help they need, or what do they want,
That's interesting.
or what support or help would you need from me?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that just because the person says that they want to change, one, that they want to, and two, just because they act in a certain way, it means that they don't want to change. No, maybe they do want to change, they just don't know how.
Damn. That's a tough one, actually.
And so the question is, so for example, if you've got an employee that says they want to stop drinking, for example, and they go home and their parents drink and their family drinks, and everybody at home is constantly saying, come have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. Like, that's challenging for the employee.
Yeah.
Because even though they want to change, the environment that they're in, that they go home to, does not allow them to change. And that's where it's important to ask people, what help do you need?
So then how important is it as a business owner to then foster an environment where you can ask those types of questions and get honesty back?
And that's why I laughed, because this is such a way out there topic in terms of there. And so, yes, it is important, but I suppose it's having a safe environment where those kind of things don't get used against you.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Because as an employee comes in and says, yeah, all my family drink, it's a problem. And then the employee's going, what if the boss says, I have to leave because I told him all my family drink? Or what if this happens? Or, so it's a very challenging topic. And it is, it's hard for employees and employers to create a safe space. That, especially given that most employees are not used to that.
So for those of you who are wondering what in the world we are talking about, well, one, it tells me one thing, that you didn't watch the first episode where we spoke about people wanting to get better, and you should go and do that. And then you should subscribe. Yes. We did it last week. You were here.
Did I listen to that one? Yes, I did.
So you guys need to go and listen to that one. And I think I wanted to sort of create a follow-up to that, because I feel like, especially because, and it's weird that we didn't do this last week, we're in the middle of the year.
It's scary. It's
no, yep. You know how bad that is for me, because I feel like for as long as we've been doing this podcast, I've always sort of done an episode with you about the middle of the year.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We always speak about the middle, but this time I left it because I was like,
we don't always have to do that. Yeah, come on.
But then it made me realize that we're sitting in this position where people want to change, right? I set goals in the beginning of the year. I didn't achieve those goals. I'm going to try again in 2027. Does that make sense?
Yep.
How?
It does.
Why? You'd wait another 6 months.
Yes, because that's the structure and that's the way the world's been designed. And I can only change at New Year, and I can only change at my birthday. I can only change when something big and catastrophic happens. That's how the world thinks.
So we are here to rethink. Well, rethink your brain. We're here to try and help you rethink
your brain,
how to rethink about these types of things, because I feel like we've hit, and I've come to realize it myself as well, where I have so much information, but none of it matters to the thing that I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's application.
Yes.
The application is the problem.
Yes.
And yet application, activity, is the one thing that's going to allow you to shift and change. Okay, so I use the example of this famous one, I want to lose weight.
Big one.
Okay. So I know that I shouldn't eat sugar. I know that I shouldn't eat bread. I know that I shouldn't eat cake. And,
Yeah.
and I know that I should be eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really simple.
Very simple.
I know that I shouldn't be drinking coffee
Yeah.
and that I should be drinking water.
Very simple.
I know all those things.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm going to go and do?
The things that I shouldn't do.
I'm going to go and Google all the different weight loss programs out there, because there are so many. There's intermittent fasting, there's
Keto diets.
the keto diet, there's
I mean, isn't the new one the what's this? The protein thing? How much protein are you having?
There's the meat only, the carnivore diet. There's I don't know. There's so
more.
many.
Yeah, we just named 5 off the top of our heads.
And it's I could go to Weight Watchers. I could go. I could go. Maybe I should run Walk for Life.
Yes.
Maybe that will help me.
We should now. I got to research the shoes I'm going to wear for the Walk for Life.
Yes, and so I'm going to do all of this research to go and find out what is the best weight loss program for me.
Yep.
And I'm going to then type it into AI, and I'm going to tell AI all my stats, and I'm going to tell AI this, that, and the next thing, and then I'm going to see what AI gives me back.
Yep.
And then I'm going to see if I like it.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to tell AI that they put carrots in there, and I'm allergic to carrots, so they should have taken the carrots out. And that's going to take me 5 weeks.
Yes.
And in 5 weeks, I still haven't lost any weight.
Nope. But I know a lot about it, though.
But I've done all my research, and I know exactly what I need to do.
Ready to go.
Okay, so that is an example of I have all this information, but I'm not taking any action.
Yes.
Because guess what? Researching stuff is not taking action according to what we are saying today. Action is, I am going to plan, I am going to go grocery shopping, and I'm going to make sure that I have vegetables and protein and all the things that I know that I'm supposed to eat.
Yes.
And I'm going to try a weight loss program. It doesn't matter which one. Pick one. I've done intermittent fasting and it didn't work for me. Why? Because my family eats dinner at 7:00 at night, and I train at 5:00 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So for me to, it just didn't make sense. It didn't work for my lifestyle in terms of I can't train and then not eat for so many hours afterwards.
Yeah.
Given that it's lifting weights and things like that. And given that it works for ladies, in terms of being at that age later on in life, I need to make sure that I'm eating when I'm exercising.
Yep.
So intermittent fasting just didn't fit in with
your lifestyle,
the way the rest of my family worked and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. If I was training in the afternoons, no problem. I can do the intermittent fasting. Okay. So for that reason, it didn't work for me. Okay, cool. So then I find something else. So, okay, great. But I have tried it.
Yes. You implemented it.
And I did it for 2 weeks. And I didn't feel great. Okay.
It wasn't helping.
So it wasn't helping me. So it was like, okay, cool. What's the next one? Okay, cool. Let's do a moderate protein diet. Okay, I know that works. Okay, great. So what do I need to do? I need to buy my vegetables, buy my fruit, buy my protein, get all that stuff, plan for the week. And now from tomorrow, whether there's a birthday in the office or not. And I use this example because
happens.
We were going to, and I say we, as in my husband and myself, were going to start a weight loss program today. And then I said to him, we can't start it today. And this was yesterday. I said, we can't start it tomorrow because there's a birthday in the office and there's going to be birthday cake. And we can't not eat birthday cake
You
on that
can't.
person's birthday. I mean, that'll just be rude.
Very much so.
They'll be very upset with us.
Yeah.
Given that it's both of us.
And they baked it.
And they baked the cake.
Yeah.
And we know that they baked the cake because they told us they were bringing a baked cake in and everybody better eat it. So, okay, great. But we know that there's a birthday today. So guess what? From tomorrow, the weight loss program starts.
Cool.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So today, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be buying all the things that I need for the program.
Preparing.
And prepare
Planning,
for
yeah.
tomorrow. Plan and implement. Tomorrow morning, this is how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that none of you relate to that. A birthday in the office or a birthday
At home.
or a dinner or a this or
Your
that.
birthday of your third cousin. I mean,
know,
not even going to
and-
see them, but
but
we'll celebrate
it's-
them anyway.
It's understanding that that is the plan and that is the taking action is I need to buy the food and then I need to stick to eating to that program.
Yeah.
And no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I need to plan and stick to the plan.
You know, when you're saying that, it just then, like, if you flip that into a business context and a sales rep, actually any position, what's the plan for your week?
So a sales rep.
Yeah.
How many calls are you going to make? What days are you going to make calls? When are you going to make them? Who are you going to make them to? Do you have airtime? Do you
what process are you following?
Correct. Do you have a script?
Mm.
You know, in terms of, so it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. You can do all the research in the world. You can research scripts and you can put in to AI scripts as many times as you want. But if you are not picking up the phone and using that script, you will not find out if it
even
works or not.
I mean, I feel like it's from a business context as well. It's the same for like business owners who go and find coaches or mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And the coaches or the mentor says, okay, go do X and then come back to me next week and tell me what happened. Okay, cool. Next week well, I didn't actually like the way that you said that I should do it, so I didn't do it.
But also the other thing that I observe is you'll get a coach to help me grow my sales.
Mm-hmm.
But that coach will not find out why the reason that person is not making sales or that business is not making sales.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times it goes back to they don't have a budget or they don't have a plan or they don't have something.
Would you say that then, because I have such a great story about this, understanding, especially for a business owner going to look for a coach or a mentor, giving them all the information, giving them the context of your business first up, before you just go randomly select somebody that your brother told you is the best in the world?
It's so funny what you say, because it applies back to what we were saying in the beginning, is that if I find a coach to help me with my sales and I'm not prepared to discuss my financial situation with them because it's too painful or too embarrassing, or I don't want to tell them that my 5 sales reps all quit or my 5 sales reps haven't been trained, or and I'm not honest about it. It doesn't matter what you do, the coach is not going to work.
No, you're just
because there's no honesty there. And that's one of the things in business that I observe a lot of times, is that there's not enough honesty in terms of I owe X amount on VAT, or I've done this, or my sales reps do this, or, you know, I've been lost thousands on this deal, or whatever it is. People are terrified to tell people, and then generally they do, and suddenly you find out that, oh, guess what? It's very common for people to not be up to date with their VAT.
175 business owners just like you.
Or it's very common for this, and suddenly they go, oh, flip. It's not just me.
How important is that for growth, from not just from a business perspective, but also from a personal perspective, in terms of that level of honesty with yourself about where you sit?
Oh, 100%. That's it. I think that's the biggest and most important thing, is the ability to be honest with yourself. Because, it sucks. It sucks acknowledging that, you're behind on payments, or, this person ripped you off. Or, it sucks. Those things.
I mean, it must like for business, like, especially with the one with a lost deal or somebody ripped you off. It sucks that it sucks to admit that you got ripped off, right? Or you got scammed.
Like, how stupid was I that
Yeah,
I did X? Or my business partner and I are fighting, and
you took half the business and sold it, and I didn't even know.
people don't want to admit those things. But
Yeah.
yet it's it's that piece of not talking about it that actually keeps you stuck and small.
Very true.
And so the more you can talk about it, the more help you can get, but also the more it will set you free. You won't be trapped in that.
Would you say that in this day and age, and this year of 2026, in the middle of June, personal development has become entertainment?
That is so funny. I don't know if I'd say entertainment,
Really?
but it certainly has they've become buzzwords, and they've become, the like warm, fuzzy, fluffy stuff. And I really believe that personal development is not warm, fluffy, fuzzy stuff. Personal development is looking at your deepest, darkest things that you don't want anyone to look at.
Personal development sucks. Let's just say it.
It does. It's hard. It's challenging. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And
it's not warm and fuzzy at all.
And the problem is that to get to the hard stuff, you have to deal with the warm, fluffy, fuzzy stuff, because you've got to peel off all the layers, and then you get to the actual issue. But the problem is that the warm, fuzzy stuff is so nice. People stay stuck in the warm, fuzzy stuff, and they never get to the hard stuff, and then they never improve. And so it becomes this circle of, oh, the warm, fuzzy, fluffy stuff is so nice, and everybody does it, and yet it has a place, and it is needed. And I'm not by any means making less of it, because you do have to deal with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't. Yeah.
You can't bypass it.
Go deep. Okay. Going deep into it.
However, it is important to understand that once you've done with the warm, fluffy, fuzzy stuff, you have to start dealing with the real stuff. And unfortunately, in my experience, that's the hard stuff, and people don't like looking at that.
So I'll say this, and I think I've said it on this podcast a few times before. I think you firing me sometime last year, in terms of calling me out first, then firing me.
Firing you. I didn't fire you, please.
Calling me out and then firing me. But when you said, can we just stop with the bullshit, in one of our processing sessions, it became a key piece in my complete and utter shift, my complete and utter change, because I actually was, it's exactly what we're saying, right? It was nice to actually deal with the warm and fluffy stuff, and my childhood was so hard, my dad was an asshole, and you felt sorry for me, and it was awesome, it's great. But then when I had to do the real work about myself and where I'm at in present day time, it's a very different ballgame. And that, to me, I would agree, that is probably it's the toughest thing to do, but it's the most rewarding thing that you can do for yourself.
Absolutely agreed, totally. And when I think back to me calling you out, it was just like, okay, you can keep avoiding the stuff, and you can keep finding things, the fluffy stuff.
Oh yeah.
But is it helping you move forward in life?
No.
And that's where it is so important to understand, is it helping you move forward in life? And if it's not, then you're probably not dealing with the right things.
Yeah.
And generally, I think the things that we get upset about the most are generally not the things that we need to deal with.
What do you mean?
So I'm upset with Sully. Okay, Sully is the problem. Sully is such a big issue in my life. You know that he always upsets me, and he always does this. And I can stay stuck on Sully. But generally, the issue is not you.
Okay.
The issue is something else. And that's where people think, oh, if I deal with this, then I've got to talk about Sully. No, you don't. Generally, the issue is that somewhere you did something that Sully is reminding you of, and that's what you have to deal with, not Sully. Somewhere you have to change something
Got you.
and or create something or whatever it is, but it's generally the issue that you think is the problem is generally not the problem. So Sully's the problem. No, Sully's not the problem. So we watched this movie, Rain Over Me, with Adam Sandler.
Okay.
And it's quite fascinating in terms of because his family died in 9/11 and they were killed on the plane.
Yeah.
One of the planes that crashed. So that's the movie. And he was a dentist or something like that, a doctor or a dentist, and how he becomes trapped in this routine of he's upgrading his kitchen and remodeling the kitchen, and how he becomes trapped in all the different things that were happening. And it's really is fascinating to watch because they try and help him and get him to start talking about things. And of course, it turns on a whole lot more upset because now he's got to face up to the fact that the last thing he said to his wife was, you don't know what you're doing, and who do you think you are? Like they had a fight before she died, and he's got to now face up to all these things that happened. But he was quite happy living in his little bubble of, I'm just remodeling the kitchen and I'm just going to play games and I'm just going to, ride my scooter around and I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
And then, I'll find someone to play with, like, I say play with, but find someone to hang around with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And then something would happen and then he'd go, oh, okay, so cool. Let's go do X, or let's go play games, or let's do something else. And the guy that he was hanging around with goes, dude, my father just died. And he goes, yeah, so can we go for Chinese now? And how it's just a complete avoidance of looking at the loss of someone or something. And then all the stuff that actually starts to turn on when you do look at it. And it's quite fascinating because once you look at it and you clean all of it up, it can completely change where you're at. And, obviously that movie is quite hectic in terms of the trauma that he went through. But for me, it was such a great movie to observe. Yeah, that's what happens to people. And they get stuck in, I'm never looking at the upset.
Would you say, you say they get stuck, but would you say they also become attached to that story of who they are? That thing, that moment?
Well, so instead of looking at the upset, they'll avoid it completely. So that's where they get stuck in terms of it's a way of avoiding what's really there. So they essentially get trapped in it. It's not out of choice. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not.
What habits would you say separate people from the people who improve versus the people who stay stuck? What are some of the habits that you've noticed?
I think a lot of it is consistency. So, the people that shift and change do things like they get active, they exercise. Exercise is a huge one to see people shift.
Yeah.
And they set goals.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how big or small the goal is. And I think a lot of people think, oh, the goal's got to be, I've got to lose 50 kilos, or I've got to run an Ironman, or I've got to do, it's got to be this, I've got to make 100,000 rand.
So right. You are so right.
It's the little goals of, I want to increase my income by 20 rand, or, I made 50 sales calls this week. I'm going to make 55 next week. I'm going to, drink three bottles of water today instead of this. It's that they will set the goal for whatever they can achieve. So even if the goal is, okay, so I want to lose weight, but I don't know how much I want to lose. I don't know. But what's one thing I can do today? And they'll go, okay, cool. I'm going to drink three bottles of water to give me my 2 liters of water. That's what I'm going to do today. And then they go and do it.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow they wake up and they go, what do I need to do today? I need to drink 2 liters of water, my 3 bottles. Okay, I'm going to do that. And they do the same thing, and they're consistent in terms of setting a goal and working towards it. And it's not how big the goal is. It's doing the little things regularly. And I mean, I've seen people that, like, for example, we have the Green Zone Daily Ritual. I've seen people do that for 60 to 90 days and completely change where they're at. People that I say get results in terms of they actually are setting themselves little things that they want to achieve in their life. So, for example, I have one business owner, and she's been implementing sort of EOS stuff in her business.
Yeah.
Traction and every processing session that she comes in, she's discussing, this is what happened. How do I do this? What do I do? Where do I go? And this is working. This is not. And like, why is it not working? And we're cleaning it up and helping her implement stuff. So she's been able to slowly and gradually, but consistently shift little things all the time, which is making a significant difference.
Would you say that, man, just based off what you said there, the importance of speaking about what's not working and shifting it quickly? You know what I mean? Like, not quickly, but like, okay, so I'm doing this, I'm doing this, but this is not working, this is not working. Cool, why is it not working? Because of X. Okay, cool, let's remove that. This one's not working because you're not following the process of this, for example.
So the context around all of that is there is a very clear goal for this is the result we want. So she knows exactly what she needs to do, and she's doing it. Okay. And then she comes back and says, okay, I did X, Y, and Z. Right. Now we're not going to change X and Z. We're only going to change Y.
Got you.
Okay. Because we think that X and Z works.
Yes.
So we're not going to go and change everything. We're going to change one thing and then test that one thing.
Okay.
And find out if that works. So it's not a question of going and changing everything. It's being deliberate around what's one thing we're going to change and how we're going to change it, how we're going to measure it, that one thing.
I like that.
Because if we're not measuring it, then we don't know if it works or not.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's where I see too many people go and change everything. So if we go back to weight loss, for example, we're going to go and change everything. We're going to do a beetroot diet or beetroot juicing, and then we're going to do, I don't know, something else, and then something else, and then suddenly, a week later we collapse on the floor in a heap at work, and like everyone's like, "What's wrong with you?" And it's like, "No, I'm trying to lose weight." So, and you're like, "Well, when did you last eat?" "Oh, a week ago."
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's an extreme, but
these things happen.
That's what people are doing. Yeah. They're not shifting one thing to say, how does this make me feel? And they're not doing it consistently.
I mean, people are going incredibly dramatic with the things that they, and then that's why I love that example that you utilize, because people want to go for the big goal, right? I'm gonna go run the comrades. I'm gonna run the comrades in 6 hours. Okay, let's start with, when was the last time you ran?
But you know what? I can win 2 million rand if I do that.
Yeah, and you could die. So what's that 2 million rand really worth? And I mean, I could use myself as a prime example of that, right? Is that I wanted to do high rocks. I thought I could do high rocks. I was preparing for doing high rocks. But as I did more simulations at my gym, I realized I am very far off.
But so the thing is okay, so number one, if you've never exercised,
Yeah, not like that.
okay, do you have a clear plan as to how to get you to High Rocks?
Did I have a clear plan?
Like,
No,
did you do any, I say, High Rocks training that was coached?
by a human, no.
No. You, and and that's where I look and I go, okay, so Barry just finished his second Ironman, and I mean, I look at that and I go, he was so excited, and he got all these programs off of
Where he gets his programs.
online,
Yeah.
not coached by a human being. And he was doing what he was doing, and he was very much doing what he was doing.
Mm,
And if the program said do X, Y, and Z, and he didn't feel like doing Z, that's
that's
okay. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Know that one.
Okay. And it's,
Know that one too. I'll
yeah.
run 4Ks. I'll do 2 today and then I'll double up tomorrow. Look at it.
But also, you know what? I'll do 2 in the morning, and then I've got some meetings, so I'll do 2 this afternoon. And yes, you do that. Okay. But you may not understand the value and the benefit of doing 4Ks consecutively.
Yes, it's complete. It's funny, doing 2Ks and 2Ks, like you say, morning, afternoon, is very different to doing 4Ks at once.
Yes.
Vastly different, I felt.
And so it's just understanding that sometimes it is important to get a coach that explains why you need to do the 4Ks in one session, not 2Ks and 2Ks. And that becomes the issue, is that in Barry's case, he landed up getting a in-person coach, a physical coach, who would say to him, okay, Barry, I see you've done everything I've told you and more. And Barry'd go, yes. And the coach said, but there should be a rest day. And Barry said, yeah, but I didn't feel like having a rest day. I wasn't tired. And the coach said, yes, but you need a rest day, because it's training your body to have a rest day. It's not whether you need one or not. It's you need to, right at the beginning, train your body to have one. Because now that we've started, you're not going to feel the difference. Yes, your body doesn't need a rest day because you're not doing the volume of work that you will need to do the week before or 2 weeks before or the month before you do your Ironman.
Yeah.
So right now, the rest day actually doesn't matter, apart from the fact that you need to train your body to do that. Now, in business, we see the same things. People go, well, I don't need a rest day.
Yeah.
And then they can't understand why they're not moving forward and why they're not improving. So if we go back to you and High Rocks, it's you think you can do that. There's one small thing that you didn't do. Take a rest day. Or you split your session into morning and evening.
Yes.
You still did all the work.
Yep.
You know, you're still doing everything.
Yep.
Like now your body's not coping.
Yep.
And you can't understand why.
Yep.
Because you do not have the right information, or you did not follow the program exactly. And it was that small little tweak that is going to cost you.
Fair. And I think that just applies perfectly to business as well. Like you said, there's one little thing that you like resting. We hear a lot of business owners say they can't rest, right? If I rest, my business will die. Which, I mean, in most cases is not true.
So in most cases with business owners, it's not about resting. It's about delegating. Because what we see is a lot of business owners do not delegate. They go, if I want it done, I have to do it myself. And so that's what happens. And so this is the problem, is that they should be resting and they should be delegating, but they don't do it either.
Yeah.
And so this is where all the issues come from. It's a small tweak to delegate.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
So, yeah, I think it is just so important to be aware of, do you know what you're doing and do you know why? Because it's a lot easier to understand the process if you understand why. Once you understand why, it becomes easy.
So I want to close on funny enough with a P. It's so funny. This has all come full circle. Something you said to me in the beginning of the year with some stuff that so now I was moving into a different role and I was doing different things. So I said, oh man, I'm going to have to go and learn how to do X, Y, Z. And you said to me, I think you need to rethink it. You don't need to go and learn. You just need to implement what you already know. And from there, you will get what you're looking for. And I was like, damn, I do have way too much information in my head. And I was just going to go and add more into my head and be like, well, I know about it, but have I actually done it? No.
Well, that's how we started last week. How many experts are there on referees and coaching and whatever in the World Cup at the moment?
Still too many.
And it's the same thing. If you've done it, by all means, you understand all the pieces.
Yes.
But if you haven't done it, it becomes challenging to understand the value of each little piece.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening wherever you are in the world. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit www.uncoveringgreatness.com for all your reading and implementing material. We are reading and implementing company. Don't you just put your books on the shelf. See you guys next week.
Bye.